History will be kind to me, for I intend to write it. That's a quote by Winston Churchill. It's quite profound, isn't it? It's quite profound how he explains how much in control of his life he is and how much in control of his life he's going to be, and how history will judge him. You know, my master's supervisor, he said it a bit differently. He said history will judge you based on what you finished. If you started what you finished, that's how history will judge you. Those words always stick in my mind and they resonate with me, because we are fooled into thinking that we are not in control of our own lives. Think about it this way. A lot of people that teach motivation, that teach inspiration, but also teach the journey of life in a positive way and give you the attributes that you need to make it in life, they always tell you about foresight, always tell you about looking ahead, assessing where you are by looking ahead, the power of visualization. They tell you about how to get to the next level, how you intend to create a vision board, how you intend to lead a life that you manifest. That's strongly linked to what Winston Churchill says. Because if he says, history will be kind to me, for I intend to write it, he's literally saying, my God, I am the author of my own destiny. So in retrospect, when I look back at my life, I would recognize that I am the author of that life. Profound. I mean, that is super, super profound. Everywhere that I am, every decision that I've made, every place that I've been to, believe it or not, has been as a result of me making the decision to live my life a particular way with an outlook of how I want my life to be, right? It's quite significant when you look at it, because we always think that it's just in the spiritual realm where things actually manifest. We always put things in the spiritual realm, be it to God, be it to angels, be it to the universe, be it, we always literally just put it to them and not take credit for where we end up and where we are in life. We need to take credit, guys. You need to take credit. So you need to take credit for where you are in life, and you also need to take blame. You need to take the blame for where you are in life if you are not happy with your positioning in life, because you are the author of your own destiny, and therefore you will determine how history will judge you. You will determine whether history will be kind to you or whether history will not be kind to you. Look back to your life circumstances. They say there's a lot of things that basically speak to how our life is directed. The first thing would be our intrinsic attributes, our intrinsic personalities, things that you were ultimately born with. So some people were born quiet, some people were born talkative, some people were born charismatic and kind. And then the second thing is your environment. How are you influenced by your environment, right? So some people were born in poverty, like poverty like you cannot even imagine. You may think you are in poverty right now. There are people that were born and would have had to reuse diapers. Those old style diapers that our parents used to use on us. The ones where you'd need to rewash it. So imagine a situation where the parent could only afford that one diaper. And, after you use it, they'd have to wash it and you use it again, and you stay a while without a diaper as a child. Dire poverty is what I'm talking about here. And then you realize that those very same people end up being the most successful in the facet of financial success, but they also a lot of the time they tend to also give back, so they also become very successful in the aspect of gratitude, in the aspect of contribution, in the aspect of giving back. They also become successful in the aspect of significance. So those type of people were influenced by their environment. The environment was predetermined for them, but they saw what they wanted to see in that environment. And then another important thing that will help you be the author of your own destiny is your predetermination of how you look at things. So your outlook of things, your perspective of things, right? So there's a picture that I once saw. I don't know whether it was on WhatsApp or whether it was on the internet or whatever, but there are two guys in a jail cell. The one guy sees the wall and the other guy sees outside of the prison, and they see the sunshine, and so it's about the perspective. So they were already seeing themselves outside of prison and enjoying the free amenities that nature has to offer for us, while the other person was seeing the dark, dingy walls, was seeing how the place is expected to create misery, right? So all he saw and all he felt, all he experienced was that misery. So your outlook, your perspective, the way you see things, the way you choose to see things, very, very important. Very, very, very important, guys. Right. And then another important attribute that will help you be the author of your own destiny and help you be judged the way you want history to judge you is the aspect of action. You literally have to take action upon the things that you want to manifest, the things that you visualize, the things that you dream about, the things that you share and speak to people about, the things that you desire. So even in Think and Grow Rich, the book by Napoleon Hill, he talks about the first step being a desire to have something, then having the faith being the external elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought, right? Then the next step would be to implement it, to act upon the things that you want to achieve. That's how you become an author of your own destiny. Then the next step is to assess yourself. What corrective action and corrective measures are you taking to see whether you are aligned with the journey that you actually want, and to see whether you are on the correct path that you actually want to take? Are you on the path that speaks to the goals that you've set, to the objectives that you've set for your life in different facets, from spiritual to physical to mental to financial to contribution, all those aspects, looking at it from a holistic point of view, your emotional presence, your emotional outlook, your emotional wishes and dreams, and things that will satisfy you from the inside, things that speak to your ethos as an individual. Those are all the things that you really ought to fight for. Let history judge you in accordance to what you put in, because it's your input that will determine your output. It's what you put in that will determine your outcome. So it's you actually putting your thoughts on paper, you then working towards those thoughts every single day, and you actually building who you want to be by improving who you currently are. Every single aspect of your life. Every single aspect of your life. It's key for us to understand the power that we have within us, the power that we have to utilize, the power that we sometimes have to manipulate for us to get to the next level. It's key, ladies and gentlemen. It's key, boys and girls. You have the control to determine how your life will be. There are times when you have to sacrifice your time. There are times where you'll have to sacrifice a loved one's time. There are times where you'll have to sacrifice money. There are times where you'll really have to sacrifice more than you think you'll have to sacrifice for you to reach where you want to go. But ultimately, don't just look at the outcome. Don't just look at the destiny. Enjoy the journey. Be on par with your current journey. Have time to smell the roses. Have time to look at the sunset. Have time to look at what nature has to offer. Have time to think about materialistic things that you wish and desire to have. Have time to think about how you're going to give back to society. Have time to think about how you're going to build yourself. Have time to think about how you're going to mentor the next person. Because whether you think about it, whether you know it or not, the young ones are watching. The young ones are watching. People around you are watching. I'm not necessarily saying care too much about what people say. I'm not necessarily saying care too much about what people think about you. But you are a human being, and we all want history to judge us based not only on the potential that we had, but the potential that we fulfilled. Let history judge us based on the potential that we fulfilled. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. So good luck and all the best on this journey called life. Peace out.